So right now, as you clicked on this video, which manga would you say you think is the most popular of the last year? Like, which one you think dropped the most hottest volume that just like outdid everything else? Now, if you're saying G, it would make sense that the most popular selling manga would be the most popular manga that dropped a volume, right? And I hate to tell you that you're wrong on this episode of FORNEVERNEWS! You should totally like subscribe. Okay, people, we got drama, we got censorship, we got money flowing out of people's bodies, all sorts of insanity on this episode. But y'all know numbers are very important, right? And we got to talk about the numbers because you probably clicked on this video like, yo, dog, I want to know the numbers. What was the numbers? Because it was recently revealed for not only Shueisha, but also Kodansha. So you're going to hear series like Attack on Titan in the mix as well of what were the most popular initial print runs for each series in the top 10 most popular for, again, Shueisha and Kodansha. So there's endless possibilities almost at this point. And let's start off with Kodansha because I feel as though that's the one that's a rare breed that we really don't know too much about what's popping over there. But it says top 15 manga volumes first print run of Kodansha 2022. This is April 2021 to March 2022. So again, this is also going to be different from the full 2021 scope because now this is more updated information of what's popping. At number 15, Ajin, that I'm shocked actually. Oh, it ended right there with Ajin. Okay, Ajin volume 17, the final volume, 180 first print run. That's not the greatest in the world, but that's pretty good. 14, Blue Lock, so a newbie with its 17th volume. Okay, wow, so it's actually about to surpass Ajin in number of volumes with 185,000. Fire Force at number 12 for volume 28, doing 190,000, and it's basically tied. Yeah, it's tied with Chihayafuru, and that did it with volume 47. Jeez, you gotta be really, you know what I'm saying? I didn't think about it, and I'm not really too familiar with that. I know it had an anime, but at volume 47, you're doing 190,000. Pretty good. Then at number 11, Grand Blue, volume 17, 196,000. Again, I've heard of Grand Blue. Isn't there like a movie or something, or am I thinking of something else? Number 8, tied for 3 different series. There's Arslan Senki, which I believe that was, the art was done, if I'm not mistaken, by Hiromu Arakawa, author of Fullmetal Alchemist. But that one did with volume 15, 200,000, and it tied for 200,000 with a couple of Cuckoos and Blue Period. I wonder what the sales is going to look like moving forward, considering now there's a bit of that Netflix boost, right? And I think season 2 actually dropped as well, so it would be interesting to see what that Netflix boost do. Diamond No Ace, I believe that's Diamond Ace Act 2 with volume 28, 206,000. Again, these are the initial print runs, so if you don't understand, that means like when this volume came out, this is how many copies they printed up. And they print these things up based on like, hey, word of mouth, hey, we know that these people, there's a X amount of people that are going to buy it. Like, they have very advanced analytics to tell them that it makes sense to print up, let's just say 200,000 copies. What did you eat yesterday? I remember we talked about that on the numbers. That was volume 18, 231,000. Then highlighted in blue, the 7 Deadly Sins, 4 Nights of the Apocalypse, volume 1, coming in at number 5 with 250,000. That's really good that in Kodansha's whole thing, a spin-off Sins manga is still the 5th biggest initial print run with volume 1. Now, granted, you could argue, yo, dog, it was the spin-off. Everybody checked that out. Everybody checked out Boruto volume 1. It was the spin-off, but I want to give a little bit more credit because I've heard great things about it. I've heard people say that Nakaba Suzuki at one point even said that 4 Nights of the Apocalypse was the series he actually wanted to write, and that initially 7 Deadly Sins was supposed to be like a prequel that was supposed to be short-lived, and it just took off, and he was like, we'll get to those apocalyptic dudes later. Number 4, Space Brothers at volume 40, 285, to be doing that at volume 40. Crazy. 3, That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, volume 18, 556,000. If you wasn't convinced that the Slime series are massive successes, look at that. But then number 2 and number 1 are some animals right here, because number 2, Tokyo Revengers, man. Like a couple years ago, nobody even cared really like that. Like, it would be one of those things of like people in the streets, you know what I'm saying, champion it, like, yeah, the forums and shit. And then they got the anime, and then boom, volume 26, 1.14, which is crazy that it would have been Kodansha's biggest title had the GOAT been gone by now. But unfortunately, the GOAT of Kodansha was there, Attack on Titan, with its final volume, 1.5 initial print run. So next year, Tokyo Revengers will be the flagship title of Kodansha, so they're going to put more muscle behind that, and who knows what's going to happen. Depending on how things roll, they could decide to do a part 2 with a different character. Maybe it'll be Takamichi's son that has the powers, and Takamichi's killed. Like, that would probably hook people, because they could actually kill Takamichi, because because we know that they can revive him, but most people will still buy it and say, oh my god, Takamichi's dead, despite the rewind powers. And yeah. Also, just quick to mention that Attack on Titan's Volume 34 first print run included a special edition, so that was a combination, but it's the volume. It's just that some of those numbers also came with like an extra boost of a bonus or something. But now you're probably like, yo, Fornev, that was cool. We didn't know like half the series on that list. Alright, bro, let's just keep it fact. We ain't know half of them, Fornev. Like, come on, get to Shueisha. Get to the stuff that we gonna know the names, Fornev. Come on. Well, damn, yo, Fornev gotta put you on sometimes. I'm just saying. But Shueisha's highest initial print runs from April 2021 to March 2022. So coming in at number 15 is Dr. Stone with volume 25, and I want to say there's still 1 or 2 volumes left to be released, but that was an initial print run of 280,000, which is really, really good. That is kind of crazy that with Dr. Stone heading out the door, it managed to crack the top 15 initial print runs. Dragon Ball Super volume 17 with 300,000. That's crazy for a V-Jump title. Like, honestly, you have a different perspective when you come into this thing in terms of, you would imagine like Dragon Ball is so popular, and you would imagine that Boruto regardless is going to be popular enough that these sales gotta be still good, right? And because they're a V-Jump, the amount of promo that they get doesn't allow them to sell like they would have sold if they were weekly series. On top of that, they can't accumulate the fan base to do so as well because they're kind of legacy titles. So Dragon Ball Super, that's still phenomenal to be a V-Jump title, getting a 300,000 initial print run, being in 14, but in comparison to its heyday, I'm sure it was astronomical. Then at 13, Golden Kamuy tied at 13 essentially with Rurouni Kenshin, the Hokkaido arc, 310,000, and that was for volume 6 of Kenshin Hokkaido, which is kind of crazy. There's a Rurouni Kenshin, I forget that shit, holy cow. And Golden Kamuy, considering it's ending in 3 chapters, that's really dope too, though, that it's still, you know, it's tying up in there with, what would that be? I guess that's 15, 14, that was tied for 13. Then we got Kaguya-sama, Love is War, 345 for volume 23. Uma Musume, Cinderella Grave, for some reason I did not know that was a Shueisha title, but okay, volume 6, 350. Oh, only volume 6 doing those numbers. Likewise with Kenshin. This is showing that I think those Kenshin live actions are probably selling some of those Kenshin volumes. And I ain't gonna lie, don't get me wrong, Kenshin is a classic and a legend, but those sales to be in this bracket, it tells a story that there are a lot of Rurouni Kenshin fans. World Trigger volume 24, 480,000. You know, now that it comes to me, I wonder if, because this a pre-planned thing, right? This Kenshin thing, now that I think about it, they've been with a revival of Kenshin for the last like 5 years or so, and it was right around the cusp of this revival coming out that whole scandal happened with the author. I wonder if, however that information got out of him getting arrested, had something to do with that whole tie-in. Like if somebody kind of dimed him out. Like, don't get me wrong, it was mad disgusting, and I still to this day look at this author and all of his accomplishments with a stain, because it was like, what the hell? And in case you don't know, you probably don't want to know about the author of Kenshin and the shit that I just hit my hat on there. Let's move on, because this one will blow you away, and this is why they did that recent one-shot as well, that look back by the author of Chainsaw Man, Tatsuki Fujimoto, with only 1 volume, and it was a one-shot, doing an initial print run of 500,000. Look back is a testament to Tatsuki Fujimoto's strength and fan base as an author. I don't really ever remember an instance like this where an author is so badass that legitimately he has a fan base that they really are, anything he drops, they're gonna rock with it. They are basically tailoring Tatsuki Fujimoto to be like a GOAT of the future, because if you're rocking with this, everybody apparently is loving his latest one shot. You love Chainsaw Man, you love Fire Punch. This is something very unique, where opposed to like maybe some people might argue that people just really love Naruto, they didn't necessarily love Kishimoto. I'd maybe disagree in that instance, but there's a few other authors that you could say people love the work, not the author. Legitimately, people really just love Tatsuki Fujimoto as an author, not just the work, because dog, that's a one shot that is one of the highest print runs of that whole stretch. Then on top of that, One Punch Man volume 24, 600,000. So despite the fact that it's not as popular as it once felt like it was, it's still doing great. Then My Hero on top of that, 33, volume 33, 780,000. I think that was the latest one, if I'm not mistaken. Bravo to them. Then this is where it starts to get unexpected, shocking, and like, whoa. Because a few of these series don't even have anime. One of them has a botched anime, and one of them I thought wouldn't have been number 1, and it actually was. Because coming in at number 5, first of all, is Kaiju number 8 with volume 5, 900,000. Kaiju number 8 doesn't have an anime, and it's not in Weekly Shonen Jump magazine. It's in Jump Plus. What? For Spy X Family, Volume 7, 1 million, tied at number, what was that be? 3, 4, or something like that, but tied. And again, that doesn't have an anime. Spy Family, no, I'm lying. Oh my god, I just lied right in your face. The anime just came out like 3 days ago. Then Kingdom, again, tied with Spy Family, Volume 62 of Kingdom for 1 million. That had a botched anime. This right here shows that it's not always black and white of how things are going to happen. That 2 of these series, Kaiju and Spy, don't have anime, or Spy just got the anime. And Kingdom, nobody ever really talks about or cares about its anime. This is where quality and maybe even good marketing sell something. And then number 1 and 2 will shock you as well, because you would expect that what is number 2 would have been number 1, considering how well it did for its previous year. But coming in at number 2 is Jujutsu Kaisen's Volume 17 with a 2.15 million initial print run, which leaves number 1, One Piece Volume 101. You could throw the argument because it was such a big event. They did 99, 100, and 101, like a joint cover and stuff like that. That's probably why it got such a big initial print run, and also because it has such a proven large fan base, while Jujutsu Kaisen is still ongoing and proving just how big it can be. So you can throw that argument in there, but shout outs to the GOAT piece, One Piece, Oda. Right now, One Piece is hands down, and throw a like and a comment if you agree with me, because some people might come at me for this one. They're gonna come get me, so I need your help. Hands down, easily right now, One Piece is the hottest thing in anime and manga right now. You talk One Piece, you see that there's going to be some type of community around you to talk about it. One Piece is smoking hot right now. And for good measure, they actually put a comparison of current highlight initial print runs with 2019, 2020, and 2020 to 2021. So it'll give you an idea of what these series did prior to that. And Dr. Stone, there's no info for that one. And it just gives us a little bit of insight. Like, Rurouni Kenshin has pretty much maintained 350. Kaguya-sama jumped up by 20. Actually, no, I'm lying. By the third one, Rurouni Kenshin had lost 40,000. Kaguya-sama dipped a little bit. World Trigger jumped. It was 330, 350, and then 480. So shout outs to World Trigger. Yeah, this is, wow, very interesting. Look at Spy Family, 400,000, and then consistent 1 million. Kaiju, 480 to 900,000. Jujutsu, 1.5 to 2.1. Massive growth, except here's the thing. This is why, too, they couldn't beat One Piece, is that they always have been 3.2 million initial print run. That's the highest one. And if they're not going to print something as high as that, then you can't beat them. So essentially, this was rigged all along. Shueisha rigged it. Yeah. It's not necessarily rigged, because there are 3.2 million that eventually will buy those volumes. But yeah, you can't get the print run if... And that was a very interesting piece, because it actually bared all. It showed us all. It didn't censor anything. Unlike what the censorship that's happening here, that Shueisha is like, yo, dog, you give us numbers here, but then you censoring something else, because there's a little bit of a scandal right now. Apparently, a manga was removed, wiped off the face of the earth by Shueisha themselves because of the contents. Essentially, the stuff that a lot of people hate, cancel culture, silencing things that, you know, because people feel a certain way about it, happened literally right here. And it says here, which I'm interested to find out, especially people that feel very passionate against censorship. How do you feel about this, though? Shueisha removes web manga about children born into religion following alleged backlash from Happy Science. Because some people might feel like, oh, well, if they were playing with religion or something like that, that's a no-go. Or if they were putting in religion, indoctrinating people into religion, that's not cool. Like, a lot of people could feel 50 million different ways about this. The Weekly Flash magazine reported on its website in April 19th issue that Shueisha removed Mariko Kikuchi's Kami-sama no Irure de Sorachimashitsa Shukyo to Seina Watashi Tachi, a home life for trying to read this shit. No, A Home Life with God, We Children Born into Religion, manga from Yomitai Web media platform in February, following alleged backlash from the controversial religious organization Happy Science, Kofuku no Kagaku. The anthology essay manga. What is it with all these essay mangas now? We just talked about, like, there was an essay manga for Dr. Stone in a previous mini episode of FORNEVER News, which if you ain't watch it, go check it out right here, somewhere around here. Boom. The anthology essay manga tells a different story about a different faith every chapter, and centers on children who were born into a religion due to having parents practicing the faith and had no choice in their entry into the religion. I could see how that could get very controversial very quick. Like, mind you, again, some people just look at it as it's just art, it's just story, you can't put your opinions on it and whatnot. But some parents might come out and go crazy, like, yo, dog, why y'all bringing religion into this stuff? Like, y'all indoctrinating our children. Like, just is. Kikuchi, also the creator of A Life Turned Upside Down, My Dad's an Alcoholic, draws from her own experience of being born into a religion religion in interviews she conducted with former members of religious groups. The manga launched on Yomitai platform on September 22nd and published the 5th chapter on January 26th. The editorial department then removed the chapter on February 10th and apologized for offending a particular religion or group of believers. The editor stated on March 17th that the other chapters would be removed due to insufficient fact-checking. The statements did not mention Happy Science. Kikuchi told Flash that her editor initially told her to change the drawings of the altar and institution in chapter 5. Later, however, she was informed suddenly to revise the entire manga. She was also told that interviewing a single person was insufficient research, but received no answer when she's asked how many interviewees were sufficient. She said that she declined to alter the manga and asked to end the serialization instead, perceiving the edits as a means of suppressing the voices of those who left the religious groups. Kikuchi argued that the manga was not intended as a criticism towards the groups, but as a depiction of a personal life story. In that light, I think it would be strange to show excessive consideration towards religious groups. Even Shueisha understood that they were saying something unreasonable, but I suppose they had gone too far to back out now. Kikuchi said that she was not allowed to state the name of the protesting organization or the contents of their criticisms. According to fringe religious group researcher Yoshiro Fujikura, the situation evokes Happy Science's pressuring tactics, which have exerted a disquieting effect on the Japanese media in recent years. Looking back on the past 1 or 2 years, even when there have been scandals related to religious groups, their names are not reported. Multiple outlets have reported on Kikuchi's case, but none have mentioned Happy Science by name. Happy Science's public relations department told Flash that it is aware of Kikuchi's manga book, but claims Shueisha has made its decisions independently. Kikuchi's manga contains numerous factual inaccuracies and an unfair, negative portrayal of the faith and its teachings. It also conflates the issue of children seeking independence from their parents with the issue of religious faith. Regarding the decision to remove it, we believe that Shueisha reached that conclusion through independent discussion. Shueisha claimed to Flash that it ended the serialization due to insufficient fact-checking, but declined to mention who pointed out the alleged inaccuracies. Kikuchi believes that the incident is troubling for artistic freedom. It is becoming taboo to deal with religion, she warned. I am firmly against altering a story according to what a religious group dictates. If it has become so impermissible to depict religion as a theme, then freedom of expression has already eroded to such a degree that it will only exist in name. She later clarified on Twitter that she is grateful to the editorial department for protecting her, although she wishes they could have protected the manga as well. Happy Science has come under scrutiny for its practices and coercive recruitment tactics in the past. Through its political party, the Happiness Realization Party, the group has advocated for nuclear deterrence and has called for the amendment and removal of the pacifist Article 9 of Japan's constitution. The group has also repeated common Japanese right-wing rhetoric such as the denial of Nanking Massacre, the Imperial Japanese Army practice of taking comfort women, and the assertion of the Japanese state's de jure ownership of the Senkaku Islands. And I say all that to say that this is a sticky situation. I understand both sides of the fence, and I can't play ignorant to it otherwise. If I was on the corporate side of things, I don't want to rattle the feathers of the religious groups, of any of them, because y'all know what that brings. But at the very least, they should have tried to, stand by her something. That's your author, your artist. So it's a slippery slope. I understand both sides of the spectrum. Personally, I don't like censorship of any kind, especially it's not like from what it's told. And again, I haven't read it. I'm speaking solely from what's been told. It doesn't sound like it was ridiculing religion, making fun of it, or doing anything wrong. It sounds like it was more so just using it as a template, and maybe it just wasn't liked by whoever it may be that complained. And I say all that to say that there are manga that have dabbled with having religion involved in previous occasions. For example, Blue Exorcist, it seemed very religious oriented, despite the fact that it has like these physical beasts and stuff like that you see and whatnot. Ultimately, yeah, that kind of dabbled it in. They gave it the okay. So I don't want to necessarily even say that Shueisha is like against it and it just seems like they're trying to cover their own selves, and it's unfortunate because it leads to censorship. And again, in this case, it's like, dog, you just... And again, like I said, I understand Shueisha, they're trying to branch out, such as right here, Shueisha and Shogakukan, two different and separate publishing entities, open up vertical manga editorial departments for webcomic creations. The webcomic market in Japan is being shaken up by some of the biggest players in the manga making space, with Shueisha and Shogakukan revealing that they are opening up vertical manga editorial departments to help facilitate the creation of manga in that format, which is growing in popularity in Japan. But not only them, but Kadokawa has also confirmed that they'll be looking at debuting launching 160 new titles in 2022, trying to gain a foothold in the market. The vertical manga webcomic market, they probably already bought a company with literally 160 plus titles is what it is. These are not brand new, fresh out of the box. This is probably a catalog that they purchased or something. The vertical manga webcomic market, known just as webtoons in Japanese, named after the webtoon platform, has grown in the last few years inside Japan thanks to the proliferation of smartphone screens and their use during commutes and daily life. People find the vertical format easier to read than the larger two-page spreads of common manga formats, which are already online thanks to platforms like Jump Plus. Explanation of the format in Japanese. If you see, again, the manga looks a little bit different in each angle, and I'm not gonna lie, it's really cool that they're expanding. I hope, and I look at it like this, which again, it just also at the bottom to wrap this up says, Shueisha opened up its vertical manga editorial department in late March, while Shogakukan set to open theirs and is aiming for 10 new titles by summer. I'm liking and hoping for the idea that this lends for more opportunity for up-and-coming mangaka. That's what I want. I want for like somebody watching this right now, y'all could potentially have an opportunity to get your stuff on there and become an author and make some money and get strides through your career and stuff like that. I'm hoping that for you, because, you know, I'm at the end of the day, I can understand a corporation, but I'm always going to rock with my creators. I'm always going to be for the artists. I'll say this once, I'll say it again and again and again until I got to get it through what is going to happen. By the time I'm done with all of this, I want to abolish the idea of the starving artist. The artist shouldn't be starving, and if the artist is starving, then the medium itself has failed the artist, and we're going to have to go and redo from the ground up the medium itself, and it'll take time. I'm not where I need to be. The industry is moving constantly, but we're going to get it done. We're going to make sure that there's no more starving artists, because then starving artists get caught up in stuff that's happening like this, where this feels like the music industry all over. Because according to Manga Mogura Re over on Twitter, big shout outs to them, smaller manga publishers are taking risks and re-establish new or bad selling mangaka on the market, meaning smaller publishers are risking putting their money and investing on new up and coming mangaka. Once they tend to be more known among the audience thanks to good editorial work, bigger publishers get interested in works of these artists too. I wonder what you think about it, he was asking his audience. And he said, is this fair competitive behavior or maybe scummy because they obviously have more money to get the licenses and would feed off work from others? Let's talk about it. I'm going to give you right now, off rip, a perfect example of this. Look at what's happening right now with the whole lawsuit, if you follow music at all, between Meg Thee Stallion and her previous record label. I think, is it 1501? I forget, but it's with Carl Crawford and whatnot. And a lot of people say, and Carl Crawford's argument is that Carl Crawford, he put up the bread to make Meg Thee Stallion pop, and then Rock Nation came through and tried to swoop her away, and they're in court right now over it. So that is literally the equivalent in manga of what's happening. Is probably Shueisha sees, oh dog, yo, I just read this really bomb ass manga in the local weekly Bujar, and this was awesome. We got to get this author. Like, yo, this is a no-name magazine. We offer him a contract. He's coming to Shueisha. He's coming to Kodansha. He's riding through to Shogakukan. Essentially, like, that's pretty much the music industry that has probably always been there in the manga market. It's just more apparent now, because now with the social media era, all I got to do is see a page. Like, for example, I actually have rubbed elbows a little bit with an independent manga magazine over there in Japan, all because it started that I saw one of their magazine covers and I thought it was the coolest art in the world, and I was like, everybody look at this, they're making something cool. Boom, automatically I just put a bunch of people onto this little tiny magazine that nobody knew about. And I did that because of the internet, because it's very easy. Like, boom, oh, look at this shit. If that wasn't possible, then it wouldn't be possible to spread the love. And the same thing would be if somebody wanted to, oh, I like this manga, I am working for Shueisha, we got like $1 gajillion, where's this creator at? We're getting him out of this magazine and he's coming to Jump right now. And again, I keep on bringing it back to hip-hop because I've heard that also with like Lil Uzi Vert, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm not gonna necessarily blame, because it's part of the game. It's capitalism at the end of the day. If we look at it, right, and hey, you helped build this up, we could take it to the next level, hey, we're gonna take it to the next level. I will say this, that it does feel scummy when they come in and completely rob said artists without compensation. Like if Shueisha was to say, say, hey, little magazine Buja, whatever the hell you are, how about we work in collaboration to bring this artist over here, and maybe we could get some of your staff and you can work with us as well to create something. Or, hey, how about we give you a big finder's fee, a publishing fee, maybe off of this artist, because we would have never found them if it wasn't for you guys. Like, something like that, I think it's reasonable, because at the very least you're giving them something, and you know realistically as an indie, you could only go so far, while Rock Nation is gonna take you to the moon. And again, I don't know how I just snuck in some hip-hop into anime, but y'all know me, dog. I love me my anime, hip-hop, music, rap, yeah, I know. But it ain't just rap. I could listen to anything, honestly. Like, I love music. And also, shout out to all the artists out there in general that get opportunities and whatnot, and get to move up. It's really dope as an author, and that leads us to the weekly Shonen Jump author comments, because let's hear what these authors got to say. Starting off with My Hero Academia's Kohei Horikoshi. I have a small desire to draw a horror manga. Very small. He's joking right now, right? One of the biggest things that people always say about Kohei Horikoshi's art is that it feels like he should be a horror manga artist. Like, he should be drawing horror with all those hands and everything. And he said, no, he has a very strong desire, and I really hope, and that would be so sick if he was to return after My Hero. Let's just say no time skip, My Hero's done, come back with a battle shonen horror manga. Has that even been done before? Shall I say, has it been done successfully before? That would be, well, I guess you could say that. What am I at? Attack on Titan, hello. Jujutsu Kaisen a little bit scurry here or there, likewise with Bleach. Anyways, Eiichiro Oda's One Piece said, thanks to Pokemon Go, I found a great park in my neighborhood. How did I miss this huge park? I just saw a video not that long ago on the internet of people running because it was like a Snorlax in like a park or something. It was like a stampede of people for a Snorlax. Like, bruh. Sakamoto Days' Yuto Suzuki said, I bought Oku's Samura. Such a way with colors, and the compositions are so cool. Shoutouts to Yuto Suzuki. Then we got Mashle Magic and Muscles, Hajime Komodo. I'm afraid of having my wisdom teeth removed. I've been shaking with fear ever since I heard they shatter them before pulling them out. Oh my god, that does sound horrible. And I'm on team no wisdom tooth removed. Like, why would you want to remove wisdom? Maybe there's some intelligence that comes from those teeth. And I'm sure somebody's gonna say, actually, Fadab, here's the medical reason why it's called wisdom. We got Yuki Tabata, author of Black Clover. My mysterious assistant, Uemura-kun, who hasn't been with me for very long, has a one-shot in this week's issue of Jump in Japan. What's it like? Ooh, what's the one-shot? I wouldn't mind reading. Usually these authors, when they have an assistant that gets a one-shot, it's good. Because if I'm not mistaken, I believe Kaiju number 8 was, the author was an assistant to Tabata, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of crazy. A comment that I just wanted to read because I thought it was very interesting by Earthchild's Hideo Shinkai. In my youth, Evangelion provided me with both joy and sadness, but it saved me in the end. Thank you. That's really dope. Aya Shimon's Yuji Kaku. I want to watch the DC show Peacemaker, but I can't sign up for any more subscription services. Yeah, dog, it's getting ridiculous. Eventually some of these are gonna have to fold and, you know, combine or something, because there's too many, bro. Like, I don't know what to choose anymore. Dororan closing it out yet again at the very back. Again, Osuka said, I got some emo Kempi snacks, chocolates, and a handmade Kusanagi doll from the readers. I'm so happy. I hate to say, but you're probably getting canceled, my boy. Like, honestly, volume sales is terrible, and every week they're putting them at the back of the TLC. I know some people like to say that that has nothing to do with anything, but if every series that landed at the back of the TLC, or 99% minus like Demon Slayer or something, and in the back and usually end up getting canceled because they're at last place, it gotta mean something. Again, Osuka. My guy, you're probably up on it here, I'll be honest. Just quickly, you know what really makes me think that it's ending? The fact that I'm hearing a lot of praise about Dororan. And usually when you hear a massive praise for a series that is fairly new, it's probably because all of the big plot points that the author planned, they're throwing them, and sometimes it's really exciting despite the fact that it's rushed and ridiculous of how quick it happens. But it's like, this is crazy, this is huge, oh my god! Crazy and huge, like Mashle Magic and Muscles' manga volume sales evolution. Pause. Courtesy of Yellowstone over on Twitter. The first 7 volumes drew a good number of readers and sales, but it lost some in the last 3 volumes. But it's still in a good spot for a series from Weekly Shonen Jump, considering it has over 100 each volume and doesn't have an anime, 100,000. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, we've always talked about Mashle's sales around here in these parts because we've been doing FORNEVERNEWS since pretty much Mashle's inception. And looking at the volume sales, it looks like post volume 8, some of the sales have gone down a wee smidge, but I'd imagine the anime's gotta come soon. We'll probably get maybe an anime announcement within the next few volumes or something like that. And it looks like volume 7 was the peak, and I'd imagine volume 7 was probably the volume where some huge stuff was going down. It felt like, I don't know, Naruto, the Orochimaru invasion arc. It was kind of something like that with volume 7, so that's probably why it peaked. But I could see them possibly going back up once the anime comes. Like, for me personally, I'll be honest with you, that was the point where I put Mashle on hold. After that arc and it had like a beach chapter or two, I was like, okay, I'm gonna put it on hold, I'll come back to it. And that's probably also where season 1's gonna end, now that I think about it. But anyway, Mashle's really cool. Oh my god, I just thought, well, if there's a season 1, because Studio Pierrot exists, you see that it's continued to grow, but it has little by little dips since volume 7 going down. Let's see where it moves, because honestly, again, I can almost guarantee that Weekly Shonen Jump is gonna have this running for a while. And in fact, I can almost guarantee, and I know I keep saying this and you're probably like, oh please, FORNEV, don't put it in the air, but being realistic, I just swear that it screams Studio Pierrot with Mashle. The amount of filler that they could do with the school shit, like Boruto and stuff, the fact that it's kind of Black Clover-esque, so they don't gotta go too far from their wheelhouse of what they know and animating, and the fact that this is probably going to be the next big thing. They would love to have their hands on it, but please, Pierrot, if you're oh god, please, Pierrot, do a seasonal. If you gotta get your hands on it, can you do a seasonal? I know you're not, because look at Boruto, no matter how hyped 2021 was, I didn't say, you know what, let's do a season. No seasonal. So I doubt it'll be seasonal. We'll probably have a weekly Mashle, which could be good or bad. It could be a very fun thing to do every week. It could be very shitty if Studio Pierrot's like, yeah, we're gonna put our Z team on this bad boy, and that's not going to benefit anything when it comes to the sales of Mashle. Just like the top 50 best-selling manga list that we have right here, starting with number 50 with Mystery to Lunakari, humbug. It did 11,699 copies this week, 590,000 total. Dr. Stone volume 25 at 49, probably bottoming out. It'll probably be off this list by next week. 11.8, bringing its total to 215. But if you've seen one of the previous segments, you know that Dr. Stone still is very highly up there. And if you notice as well, and I'm starting to notice, and holy shit, looking at Mystery to Lunakari's covers, why does it look like the same picture just pasted like opposite of each other and with different colors? Like, okay, like just look at volume 42, 46, and 48. It's like almost the same picture with like different colors and like just moving the character around. Then we got Spy Family volume 1 through 3, a box set that they released that just did 13,000, bringing it to 41. So just like a essential re-release packaging of Spy Family for the first 3 volumes, considering the anime came out. That is actually very genius on their behalf. They got new marketing. I ain't gonna lie. They really have, I can almost guarantee, they got new blood that is coming with these ideas. They've been for so long, the Japanese manga business and anime manga business, so long with old ideas and concepts, not willing to try shit. So them trying this, that has been something that's been done a million times over here with Spy Family, a relatively new title because the anime's out. Just good shit, man. Good on the marketing. Then going to volume 40, Mieruko-chan, which that was a really, I don't want to say adorable, but it was a cute little anime that came out for Halloween that did 13,000, bringing us total 62 in 13 days. Spy Family volume 5, 14. Oh, okay. The anime already doing, this is right here. Boom. If you was wondering, has the Spy Family anime had any impact? Look at all the volumes in here. Volume 5, volume 6, volume 7, volume 4, all through here. Yep, it's happening, folks. This might be, move over Tokyo Revengers, move over JUJUTSU Kaisen. We might be having Spy Family taking this all up for a while. Fire Force at number 31 with volume 33, 15,848, a total of 112. Shoutouts to 112. And I'm not talking about only the singing group. Shoutouts to the number of episodes of Yu Yu Hakusho, one of my favorite shonens. And you're like, FORNEV, stay focused, because JUJUTSU Kaisen came in at number 30 with volume 18, still on the charts. Jesus, 16,673, 1.926. Then moving forward, Disney's Twisted Wonderland. Every time I see the word Disney, I'm like, God, they're getting in here, right? That's totally gonna be like when they start making their original anime. I can see it already. They're trying to build up, and it's working because it did 17,000, 83,000 in 17 days. Expect a lot of Disney anime originals down the road. Spy Family volume 8 at 21, 18,000. Again, expected all over this place. What is Darwin Jihen? I'm seeing that around there. Volume 2, 20,000, 37 in total for its run so far. Tokyo Revengers still on the board, 911. Blue Lock volume 18, 22,000. A lot of really cool titles on here. The Slime manga, Kaiju number 8 volume 6 still on the charts, 28,000, bringing its total to 573. And then top 10. Kaguya-sama Love is War volume 25, 31,000, bringing its total to 199,000. Cardcaptor Sakura, there's another Cardcaptor Sakura Clear Card Arc volume 12. What? 33,000. Okay, I ain't gonna lie, I love the colors and stuff, but okay. Then we got Takopi's Magi with 41,000. If you're a regular for Never News, you know why I'm calling it something else. I'm not gonna explain it. You should subscribe. That'd be dope. Shimatsu no Valkyrie Volume 14, 46,000, bringing his total to 242. If you don't know what Shimatsu no Valkyrie is, that is Record of Ragnarok with the botched anime that people hated on Netflix. I thought it was okay. Let's jump to top 3. Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 19, limited edition, did 66,000 this week. That's just the limited. So these are like pre-numbers, I believe. These aren't the full numbers. That's why things are a little bit different. My Dress Up Darling Volume 9, 81, total 208. And number 1, and again, these are pre-release numbers, I believe, for One Piece Volume 102, 211. Next week's numbers will probably be massively giant. One Piece right there in the preliminaries, outdoing Jujutsu Kaisen. And yeah, that was a storm of manga. And I'll keep it real with you. Out of all of this, the big takeaway is Spy Family is here. Spy Family expected to be all over your face, dog. All over your face like this Jujutsu Kaisen 0 film, because it's still making waves, even if it is slowing down a bit, because according to this, it says Jujutsu Kaisen 0 climbs up Japanese box office all-time chart, overtaking Frozen 2, with Jujutsu Kaisen 0 finally dropping out of the top 10 at the Japanese box office this week. After ranking in there since December, it seems the film has finally run its course, though that hasn't stopped it from climbing up the Japanese box office all-time charts again this week, taking over Frozen 2's spot at 18. That's dope. It beat out Frozen in Japan. That is real dope. Globally, the film is on the cusp of overtaking Princess Mononoke on the all-time anime charts. In Japan, as of April 10th, Jujutsu Kaisen 0 has made 13.42 billion yen, approximately $117.84 million. Major success! Yes! I love it. On the back of more than 9.28 million tickets sold, the MAPPA-produced prequel to the hit anime and manga franchise has moved up to 18th on the all-time Japanese domestic charts, taking over Frozen 2's spot and closing in on Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Armageddon, and E.T., all of which made 13.5 billion yen at the Japanese box office over the years. I hope they re-release Jujutsu Kaisen 0, maybe an extra few minutes or something for like that, in order to surpass even more. I want Jujutsu Kaisen 0 to go as high as it could. And internationally, Jujutsu Kaisen 0 has brought in an estimated $168 million, with North America making up about 33 million of that amount and keeping at 8th place, just ahead of Spider-Man No Way Home. Australia and New Zealand bringing in 2.15 million together, South Korea raising to US 4.6 mil, and Taiwan upping its total to 8.3. So Jujutsu Kaisen, again, did it live up to what Demon Slayer did? No. Is it still wildly successful, and am I still rooting for it, and I still want to see them win? I don't give a shit. Yes. Because one of the things I always appreciated is that Jujutsu Kaisen's Gege Akutami is a fan of great stuff, like Hunter x Hunter, like Yu Yu Hakusho. You know, Yoshihiro Togashi created 2 legendary series. Hunter x Hunter, to this day, people are still waiting for it to come back, and the biggest thing we got right here is this article that Hunter x Hunter, the complete series, Blu-ray, Amazon exclusive, this is for Western US, pay attention, episodes 1 through 148, the entire series, $150, June 21st, so they're selling all of Hunter x Hunter in one big box set for $150. Basically, you're paying $1 an episode, and you have it in the physical. I might get it, because I think I only have, I want to say I got like the first 3 Blu-rays, and I got like the movies on Blu-ray. That's what I think I have so far. I don't think I got anything else, and that is really, really dope. I might actually get that. That would even be a really dope giveaway. I would love to give this away to one of you guys. Like, as just, I love you guys. I ain't gonna lie. Just like a shout out. Like, there ain't nothing I'm trying to market or nothing. Just like, yo, dog. I don't know. Common pig or something. We'll figure something out. Common pig. That would be the illest thing. But yeah, we're gonna figure something out where I'll set something up to maybe give one of these away, because this is really dope. And it's $150, $1 an episode, basically. You can't go wrong. Although it's still very wrong, because Yoshihiro Togashi won't return. What if I wrote a song right now? Togashi, you sloppy, couldn't be me, it's not me. Togashi, why must you do us wrong? I'll send baddies in a thong if it'll get you to write some Hunter x Hunter. No more blunders. Yo, dog, we've been doing this for so long. We just start breaking out into like a musical up in this beat. You don't know what you're getting in FORNEVERNEWS. Just like you don't know what you're getting in anime, because this was disturbing, and I was like, yo, dog. Because when I saw this on my timeline, it was so crude that the unofficial Twitter of the unofficial weekly Shonen Jump account, or the unofficial weekly Shonen Jump account on Twitter, they had to explain what was happening on screen because fans was like, yo dog, why are you putting this on my timeline, you nasty man? Because I saw a clip to this. It said Hyperinflation animated PV commemorating a special free chapter promotion at Shonen Jump Plus's app. And if you look at the clip, it's like somebody that's like sweating and in pain and money is coming out of their body. And I just looked at it and I was like, what is this, dog? So the unofficial Shonen Jump Twitter account had to clarify, we understand your concern, so here's the series' plot. Luke, a young boy who lost his parents in an imperial slave hunt, discovers his beloved sister will be sold up at an auction. In his despair, Luke obtains the ability of generating money from his body. So basically, this dude is able to make money come out of his body, out of like, I'll commend the imagination. I'll 100% commend the imagination because, dog, to come up with something like that money just starts flying out of your body because you're in pain. It's insane, but I give massive props and kudos because it's crazy, and also you got my attention, and also it just sounds like this is something that's gonna keep the freaks out at night, lad. Because legit, I ain't gonna lie, just looking at that trailer again, like, yo, editor, put it on the screen. Look at this shit. Look at it. What is this? This is nuts. And even using this is nuts is the wrong terminology because, yeah, it's nuts. It's insane. It's bizarre. Transition King. Boom, boom, boom. Upcoming Ultra Jump issue 5 2022 with Thus Spoke Kishibe Rohan by Hirohiko Araki on the cover to celebrate its comeback. The upcoming new chapter 11 will consist of 2 parts. The second and final part of episode 11 will be released on May 19th, and God, this cover looks so freaking fire. Kishibe Rohan, I gotta be honest, I absolutely love the Kishibe Rohan episodes. They're so interesting, weird. Honestly, they're more bizarre than JoJo's. I'll just keep it straight. Like, Rohan, the Rohan anime on Netflix, way more bizarre than JoJo, and I'll be honest with you, until right now, it didn't really dawn on me on how much I really can't freaking wait for the next Rohan anime. Like, I know they're releasing more chapters, which means Netflix is eventually going to get to it. I need it. It's good. It's really good. Although, if you want to, before that, to get to something that we're all waiting for, I'm just saying, Stone Ocean, why are you doing September? Oh my god, what are you doing? This is crazy. You shouldn't be doing this to us. I mean, the JoJo fans, we had JoJo Fridays. Well, I wasn't a part of JoJo Fridays, but they had it, and you're wrong for doing this. And that was just terrible. No, on some real, I really like the Kishibe Rohan anime, and I can't wait for more and cool stuff. But not cool enough to make us continue this episode because we've reached the end, and I'm curious what you guys think. Most important story, favorite story, what do you think? FORNEVERNEWS. That's all I have for this one, though. Thanks for watching. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day, and remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life. Bye. Have an awesome day. Peace, and you guys just watched another episode of FORNEVERNEWS. Have an awesome day. Subscribe and hit that bell for all notifications. All notifications.